On the border, we have to talk about Tom Homan again because, well, he has been interviewed everywhere, and every time he speaks, I like the guy even more. This time was an interview with Donald Trump Jr. on his Rumble channel, and border czar Tom Homan says Trump will treat the cartels like ISIS will wipe them off the face of the earth, and that is just music to my ears.
Look, the cartels are like a Fortune 500 company. The Sinaloa cartels, they're in over 40 countries on the globe. Not only are they smuggling record amount of narcotics in the United States, they are now in every major city of the United States, taking over the distribution within the United States. And at the RNC, during my speech at the RNC, I echoed what President Trump has told me, that he will designate them terrorist organizations.
Yeah, that's the way that you can literally use all the firepower that you need to, well, essentially not have to brush them off afterwards. You just have to, well, let the wind do its thing.
Because they have killed more, the criminal cartels of Mexico have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. Take the 9/11 times that by 100. Right, so President Trump says he's going to designate a terrorist organization and wipe them off the face of the earth because Mexico's not going to do it. Mexico's been dealing with this for 30 years. And I hate to say it, but it's just a fact. Much of the Mexican military, much of the Mexican government, they're corrupt. We know that. Yeah. That's why even when I was ICE director, I vetted units, and we bet these guys ourselves that we work with down there. We didn't even tell them everything.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch Sicario. Sicario is one of my favorite movies ever. Of course, it's fiction, but it's based on what you could be seeing at the border, which is a real carnage out there. But again, if you haven't watched Sicario, I 100% endorse that you watch that movie.
Not every cop and soldiers is corrupt. I'm not saying that. I'm sure there's soldiers and police officers down there doing it for the right reason, but there's a lot of corruption there. And the cartels, if you're a police officer and you're making $36 a week, and the cartel comes and gives you $100,000 to let something happen, they're going to take it. I mean, many of them will. So it's going to take U.S. Special Operations, U.S. Intelligence to track these guys down, follow the money, and just same thing President Trump did to ISIS and the Caliphate. He can do it. He did that terrorist organization. He can do it to the criminal cartels, but it's going to take the United States lead to get it done.
Yeah, it was going to take a bit of that, but for that, the border has to be secure. The border has to be secure. And I was talking about this. Some of you are asking. This is a movie that I say, Sicario, with Benicio del Toro. It was an amazing movie. But we need to talk about the border. The Biden-Harris regime believes in open borders. Americans don't. It was posted by Senator John Kennedy, maybe perhaps one of the most no-nonsense senators out there, with Alejandro Mayorkas, which I'm not going to talk about him in terms of, I don't like the guy. I'm going to say it personally. I don't like the guy. Like literally. He is, I don't know how to put this. I don't like to have like this personal beef with people. You know that, it is not, I had nothing personal against Kamala Harris and still don't. I don't have anything personal with Joe Biden. I want to talk about their policies, but this guy, you see the guy is a snake. You see the guy, you know that he's a snake. It's only the way that he talks, not to mention his actions. We are into major sociopath territory.
I looked last night at President Biden's platform when he ran for president. He supported amnesty for the 11.7 million people in our country illegally. He promised he would end the Remain in Mexico program. He promised he would end the safe third country agreements. He promised he would get rid of the border wall. He promised to encourage sanctuary cities. And he said, I'm not going to deport people. Can we agree that you don't have to be Mensa material to understand that's an open border policy?
You don't have to be Mensa material. You don't have to be a genius. You can just be I don't know, room temperature IQ to understand this. It's not complicated.
Senator, a few of your recitations, if I may respectfully submit, were not accurate portrayals of the president's policy. He did not say...
I looked up his platform last night. It's right there. I mean, here's what I believe on immigration.
Senator, again, I would respectfully disagree with your characterization.
You see, look at what he said. I disagree with your characterization. The Senator Kennedy, is literally saying, I just looked that up on his website, and it's right there. It's not something that I'm saying. I'm not making this up. This is not an opinion. This is something that is on his website. And this guy twists the word saying, I disagree with your characterization. He is implying that this is an opinion or a characterization or an idea that Senator Kennedy is trying to push onto people and onto him, which is false. This is the reason why if I ever get in any of these hearings or something like that, if I have to, maybe I could have the opportunity to counsel or assess somebody who's going to be on these hearings, I would advise them to have this huge cardboard printouts of Biden, in this case, Biden's website, so you can just show it and to have like a I know it sounds stupid. Okay, why in this era with so much digital resources, so much technology, why would you like print some huge like a 1 meter by 1 meter cardboard with a screenshot of the website? Because that is an actual having a physical copy of the website drives your point home. You cannot say that. You cannot say that with a straight face. Oh, I disagree with your characterization. That's what I tell you. The guy is a snake. He cannot deny that, and he is doing it. I disagree, and when I see this kind of tie knot, in which is a single twist tie knot, it's a single twist, and it's symmetrical. You know the guy is a psychopath. You already know that. That's the biggest tell. Nobody in their sane mind does that kind of tie knot, and it stays like that. But beyond the jokes and the approximations to my tie knot reading, which is quite amateurish, you can see that my tie is not, my dimple was not the best today. There is a harsh reality. The open borders are a real problem to America and to any country. And I hope that the fact that these arguments are being exposed, we're talking about this, is going to be good for every country, good for any country, because, well, sad to see that I, as a Venezuelan, I have to talk about this. The Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, is now operating in every city in Tennessee. I would say that, well, in Tennessee, maybe they will greet the Tren de Aragua with guns, lots of them, but still is a big problem.
The TBI says not only is a dangerous gang growing nationwide, but it's impacting every major city across Tennessee.
I want to remind you that the way that these people act, Tren de Aragua is not, they are not simply just, let's say, improvising this. They are being controlled, and they're being controlled from inside Venezuela's most dangerous jails. I know that for so many of you this could be a bit baffling. How are they controlled from within jails? Well, jails in Venezuela, for the people who are the leaders of these cartels and these gangs, they are like resorts for them. If you can imagine a resort with a pool, with a discotheque, with everything, with all the with everything that you want to be live a luxurious and comfortable life. That's what they get right there, and they are safer inside the jails, and they can orchestrate all this from inside the jails, and they control all things. And let's say that the government, since they have this hub of drug trafficking worldwide, then it's better for them to, hey, let's do something. We're gonna do some kind of exchange. We want our friends, all the friends of the government who have all this money because they have all this licitaciones, have all this business with the government. In Venezuela, there's a lot of money going on, like rivers of money. Then we want our friends to be safe. They don't want to be dealing with gangs. What do you think if we help you take your gangs to the United States? The United States is great. You will be stealing for dollars, and that is nice. We can help you with that. We can put your gangs in the front door because Biden is gonna let them in. And you solve the criminality in Venezuela. The criminality rate is it goes lower. It's lower in Venezuela. And these gangs now can operate in the United States in exchange for that. It's a nice exchange. It's a win-win for them and lose-lose for everyone else. So that's why I really wish that they get deported, if not neutralized. And when I neutralize, is that I imply that they will not be participating of the oxygen of the world. I'm not making myself that clear, but I don't want to call for open. You know what? One has to be careful, but you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? What is it? What is the title of the first Metallica album? For those Metallica fans in my chat, what is the title? What is the name of the first Metallica album? What is the title of the first Metallica album? I'm going to make that reference. I'm sure that I'm going to make that reference over and over again. First one, I will highlight you.
A pathway to more violence.
The DBI director, David Roush, warning Governor Bill Lee in a budget hearing Tuesday about the rising threat of a violent criminal group, Tren de Aragua.
They're back in all of our major cities. They are running human trafficking operations.
Roush says the Venezuelan gang does not hesitate to attack their opponents in public.
Recently, there was a video that they shot where they shot an individual, a cartel member, 31 times.
Yeah, but they shot someone 31 times. That's the kind of things that you do for passionate crimes. Passionate crimes,
broad daylight on video and posted it to social media.
Roush says they'll next engage in more retail theft before taking on the drug trade.
Yeah, like testing the waters. They're just testing the waters with this, let's say, petty crimes to see how the system works. Let's see how much they can get away with. They are getting their feet wet with all the system, and they will. I really hope that Trump, Maggie P, Trump gets rid of them. That's what I emphasize so many times, that when I say deport them, I'm talking about the criminals. These are people that are illegally inside the country. And yes, somebody, two of you already, Metallica's first album is, that is the title of Metallica's first album. Thank you, Go Out Well. And also Ambassador Soul, you got it. Yeah, that is quite a title. That is quite a title, but it fits. It fits. Metallica's first album, I'm going to make that reference.